Let's go to Jim in Cleveland, Ohio. Jim, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken, good to talk to you. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, you bet, man. What's up?
Well, I'm kind of in a weird predicament. I want to get into the like a hedge fund management type business, trading derivatives and options. I know Dave Ramsey and Ken Coleman aren't real big on trading individually, but I've been doing it for over 20 years. I've had good times and bad times, and I'm tweaked my system. I'm getting better and better at it.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot. I continue to keep learning. But the hedge funds, you have to be, in order to be in a hedge fund, you have to be qualified, which means you basically have to have $1 million in assets to get into a hedge fund as far as an investor.
Okay.
So it's a very exclusive, elusive area to try to get into. And I'm in Cleveland area, so I'm not, like in New York or California where there's a lot of that type of business and, smaller jobs like that, back support and stuff like that for trading rooms. So that's my big dilemma.
Okay. Well,
I get into that business and get in that proximity when I'm in Cleveland, which isn't a real big mecca for that area.
Yeah, but I think proximity in this situation is not as important as really figuring out how you're going to get qualified, because this is such an exclusive industry, right? So you got to have the $1 million, man. That's like baseline. You already said that. So you know what it takes to get qualified. I'd start working on that. You got to get to that point, because if that's the baseline to actually get in there, they want to see that you've actually mastered this and you've become very effective in investing. So are there any other really baseline key qualifications besides having $1 million or anything else like that?
As far as being the $1 million, that's as an investor to be qualified to be considered to be into that one of those funds like that.
Okay.
So there's people that are managing the funds that may or may not have $1 million, but
I'm sorry.
To be the investor, I want to work in that business and help manage that money.
Okay, I misunderstood that. So
yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, that's okay. No, it's partly on me because I've not done a lot of research on this. So I don't know and that was my first question. What does it take? What are the baseline qualifications to actually get hired by a hedge fund? Do you know what they are?
Performance and, not like you just have a great year, but the drawdown, like we have a great year and then you don't give half of it or a third of it back next year, basically to not lose money.
Right. So where are you at?
If you can steadily make 10%,
right.
Every year in, year out, and, if you have a down year, you only lose a small percentage, but you keep adding to the pie, if you will.
So, Jim, my question is, where are you at in becoming qualified under that situation? Are you driving results?
I am getting there, yes. I'm getting very consistent. I'm growing my income, growing the money that's in there right now. But my resume, my qualifications, I did at one point have a securities license, so I know all the rules and everything you need to do. But basically, a security license just enables you to sell the securities to people.
I get it. So
sell the mutual funds and stuff like that.
All right. So Jim, here's how you get there.
More hands-on.
You're doing all the right things right now. Okay. You've got to be qualified as a professional. Do you understand what I'm saying? You've got to have the track record. You understand that. So we get that.
Yes.
While you're getting the track record, and as you are continuing to put up some numbers on the scoreboard, you're going to get the attention of some key players in the industry. And that's where you really begin to dive deep on relationship building. Now, I believe even in Cleveland, Ohio, you can make good connections. And I think you're going to have to get creative on how you do that. Where are these hedge fund managers hanging out? And I understand that COVID makes all this like a big giant asterisk, but the reality is are there conferences? Are there online gatherings? Are they writing papers? Do they have their own email list? How are you getting in to some of these communities? I would look at that, but I will tell you, your connections will happen as you continue to put numbers up on the scoreboard. People are going to take notice. And if you're helping make people millions and millions of dollars in Cleveland, it doesn't matter whether you live in Cleveland or you live in New York City. You can make the connections. And so don't overthink this. You want to know how to get in? You're going to have to create the track record, which you're already working on. And as you're doing that, you will find more and more places and more people that you need to connect with. And all of a sudden they're going to go, look at Jim. Jim's got a track record. He's got a track record. This guy's no joke. And that becomes your resume, certainly in that industry. So that's your focus.